Makes and misses to kind of keep that momentum and that pace up.
George down the lane. Look out below as he rattles the street lamps out on Figueroa.
The second half, like we saw in the first right here, just putting it on the deck. Now this time able to elevate.
So that was a nice gesture on your behalf, Coach Fratello.
I didn't remember I said that.
Lob to George out of the timeout. Oh, you got to get up to throw down Paul George.
And the Lakers got to be careful. The third quarter was trouble for them in Golden State.
Excellent
That's when the game got away from them right here. They were careless with the ball.
So good at that mid-range because he can shoot over guys. Plus, he'll grab a rebound, start the offense all early. Coach Vaughn said they're going to try to give PG a lot of different looks defensively. They were hoping that KD's length would also be disrupted.
On cue, he knew that Jamie was talking about him, so he sets up this play, throws it up high above the rim, and Paul George goes up.
He was a part of that great resurgence. And some of that accountability is at the top, too, to LeBron James and Paul George with a 32-footer.
With a second left to fumble.
Wow.
Maybe Beverly just fell down. Let's watch this defense again.
And this right here, Pat, getting in, getting under. But guess what? PG only needs a little bit of space, rises up.
Here to third. Paul George backdoor. Batum going up high and finding him. 9 to shoot for George, picked up by Fox. Spins, fades, fires. Who said no sweat, no shoot?
De'Aaron Fox's wife over there cheering after that Keegan shot. She tweeted out today, "Happy Keegan Murray Day."
Oh my God, Paul George. Mike Brown's calling for the timeout. Paul George throwing it down here in Sacramento.
Re-emphasize that. That's how your mentality has to be. If Kawhi's on the court or not. And here we go. After timeout, Ty Lue once again drawing up an excellent play with him. And think about it. Mikal Bridges is up too high. And let's not discount the pass by John Wall. Yeah, well, you know, Tim made field goals off of 7 assists. The ball is hopping around, and they're able to take advantage of the miscues of the Clippers or missed shots. Paul George right there. Keep in mind, listen, we're talking about what they shot.
Continues to be the problem against the Thunder. 21 second chance points for Oklahoma City. George dashing down the lane, punching it in with the right hand.
Over 3 from the three-point line, but able to split the defense and go up.
We're tied at 45. Porter Jr. finds Green, that goes into the ready hands of George. Slaloms between a pair of defenders for the rim with the left hand off the window and in.
Very good out of timeout.
George picked up by Porter Jr. rises for 3 in the tie.
Roddy guarding George. Leonard fakes, gets bumped, continues along. Back up top, Paul George winds up and hits a 3.
And I think Steven Adams is so important to them from a physicality standpoint and their offense.
Oh, George to Plumlee.
And it's not easy to put all these parts together, particularly with Leonard sitting out as much as he does, to ever find the continuity as George hits a nice turnaround jumper. They have not said it's a suspension either.
Right. They count the basket. Yes, George counted and a foul.
And give the Clippers credit. They have responded after a slow start. They bounced back, went to guys off the bench. They played with more energy, and it's been a carryover effect.
George 12 points. He's 5 for 5 from the free. George drives on Kennard. Back up top, Gordon. Way outside. He got hit in the face. Knocks down the 3. He can't believe there wasn't a whistle. Jackson goes right at Zubac. Can't get it to fall. And Zubac the rebound. Quick outlet. George. Nice finish, Paul George.
Incredible basketball coach. If I had a job, I'd hire you today, without a doubt. So it's a good thing. It's a compliment. But as a player of yours, I had a giggle every time I walked past you with that bottom lip poked out and the remote in your hand.
Taylor Jenkins is such a terrific coach. George goes in. Shot won't go. Zubac's tip misses. Gets it again. Back out to George. And George connects on a 3. George off the bounce, goes inside. Good ball movement here. Leonard goes past Roddy. Got knocked down. George, corner three. It's good.
Pass, but another good drive. And at the last minute, the kick to Paul George, who has been...
Westbrook the extra pass. Batum for three. Zubac. George. Step back three-pointer. Got it. Paul George again. His fourth three-pointer. He's got 30.
That's tough.
And then the contact came with the elbow.
George gets inside. Shot won't go. Yes, it does. Van pulled his hand back. George on the drive. Gets inside. Kicks it out. Leonard up top. Gordon. Nice fake. Beautiful feet inside. George has 38, and it's an 8-point game. Bain. Alley-oop. Stolen by Leonard. Poor decision that time from Desmond Bain. Here comes George. Pull up. Jump shot. Got it. A 40-point night for Paul George. 7 to shoot for George. Back to Westbrook. Westbrook, crossover, lefty layup, shot won't go, fight for the rebound, George has it, back up, it's good! Paul George on the follow! 4-point lead for the Clippers, still 32.9 remaining. Jaren Jackson Jr. taken away by George.
Coming up with a strip. Jaren Jackson trying to clear traffic. George with the hands in the strip.
George sizes up Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich, a great offensive player, probably not a stopper, and right on cue. 31% on the year. I gave you his career number earlier. George gets around the defensive Bogdanovich, collides with Duran, but lays it. George down the lane. Ball fake on Duran, 10-footer off the window. Hangs on the iron for a picosecond. George crosses over Hayes, dashes down the lane, finds an open Kennard, free for three, bucket for Kennard. Wall has it for the Clippers. George flares out of the wing, makes the grab, flicks the wrist and knocks it down. George. I feel guilty and responsible for the broadcasters' jinx on Detroit. They were shooting only 29% coming into this game in their last 5 to Morris, and the Clippers reshuffle the deck. And they deal it back to George. Just above the foul line. Jumper is good for Paul George. But it'll be an interesting homecoming in a way for Kawhi Leonard, who is expected to play. George knocks down the long two. It's an incredible sports town, and anybody that has lived here swears by it. Is Bogdanovich able to lay it in, but back on the other side, Paul George. Diallo takes it to the rack, bangs inside, misses the shot. Zoo has it with 2 minutes to play in the third. Ahead to Powell to the rack. Oh, and he punches it in with the right hand.
PG with his head up, the one-hand bounce pass. Norm Powell throwing it down. Nice job, Batum. Cut off. That Piston player got to the ball first.
George aggressively down the lane, hangs inside and hits, counted on a foul.
Mode finished it off the glass. Here he comes, Hayes, lets him get by. Next defender too late getting there. And you'll see Zoo's there on the bottom left. He could drop it off if he wanted to at the last second to the big man. He knew he had to create something.
George taking matters into his own hands, tries to rifle a pass to Zoo, a little too hot to handle.
That's the pass I had mentioned. Paul George picks it off, finishing, two-hand, Paul George.
Leather larceny and love from above, and Paul George with all 5 here in overtime.
You know, when you tell your players, make